Hey guys, I am here at Fort Parker. Now I know I had done a park called Fort Parker, but this is the actual fort. Um, it's an actual, it's a restored fort. This was a real fort back in the Civil War time. And so we're going to look at all the little buildings here and just take a gander at the place. So go on ahead and enjoy with me. So as you can see, we've got the traditional log wall as you see in the movies. And there's buildings inside of the walls. So let's go on ahead and take a look at all these. Yeah, the gentleman said that everything is marked. So, yeah, here this is a real fire pit. I don't think that's an original right there. That has been burned. Now look here, this here would have been the oven. Brick lined. I'd say it got pretty good hot in there. And of course your prep table. And there's the triangle to ring in. Come and get it. Yeah, possibly this would have been a table where people just put their plates down and eat or whatever. This would have been something similar to an animal trough, like the horses would drink out of. So this fort is in Mexia, Texas. And as I said, this would have been the blacksmith where they done the horseshoes. You can smell the coal where it was burned. Anyway, yeah, this was during the Civil War. No grinding wheel. It's possible maybe like there was some water in there because you had to keep those stones wet in order to properly sharpen the knives or the axes. Look here, this is a bellow. That's a bellow. For anybody who doesn't know what a bellow is, it's a wind instrument, not a musical instrument either. You squeeze this accordion-like thing right here, and it blows air through that pipe A lot of times they were used to heat up the furnaces because, as you know, fire needs oxygen. This cedar log is from the old Bethel Methodist Church east of Groesbeck, erected in 1869. Cool. At one time there was actually mud daubers on it. Those are dauber mud packs. They had knocked them off. I think I'd seen a little plaque out here. Let's see if we can find that little plaque before we continue on this. Okay, spring gate. This small gate provided access to water from the spring, which is located about 130 feet from this corner of the fort. The settlers no doubt kept the reserve supply of water in containers within the fort in case of attack. Okay. Caution, low door. I guess we could go through there. But first, let's check this out. Now look at these logs. These were pretty big logs. And as you can see, they were cut and grooved so that they were stacked right. And then they were cemented together to kind of seal them. All right. Let's see here. The blockhouse. The blockhouse was the most important defensive unit of the fort. Gun holes in the upper story of the blockhouse walls afforded a sweeping view of the surrounding area. Due to it projecting beyond the stockade walls, a defender could fire down on any attacker who managed to reach the palisades. Yeah, it's kind of faded out. You will also note open spaces in the floor at the blockhouse, which permitted shooting downward at anyone who might seek protection against the wall of the bottom story. Since the blockhouses were located at diagonally opposite corners, all four walls of the fort could be covered with gunfire. Neat. Okay, now you can see this is an earthen floor. They didn't bother to lay brick or anything or rock. It's just earthen. Let's go on ahead upstairs. Narrow steps. They provided a little bit of carpet in case it'd be moist. But you can see, yeah, there's gun holes. And there's the gun holes there, so they could shoot. Yep. And just imagine a few men, brave souls, being in here, watching at all times. Being able to see and protect the entire area, because not only was it men in this fort, but there was women also. So, you know, the small community depended upon the protection of the men. All right, let's carefully get back down here. Like I said, the steps are narrow. They're not very broad either for the foot. And kind of hard to imagine because the men would have bigger feet than my little feet. And still, they're kind of not really meant for big feet. I guess it was so they could run down quickly. just the same as slide down. Alright, let's go on ahead and check this out. So I reckon these would be the little homes. Look at that neat chimney. Cute wreath. Old-fashioned Christmassy. This is how they would have decorated for Christmas. They would have made them themselves. Okay, so like, they've got storage in here. But, you know, like, this would have been a home, a house, and even here, little windows that they could shoot through if they had to, because the women had to learn how to use a rifle too. Now up here they would bed. Okay, now look here. I learned this from Little House on the Prairie, reading the book. Laura explained how it was used. So you pull on that, on the rope on the outside, it lifts the latch. Neat, huh? And then as you close it, you let go of the rope, and there you go. Let's go on ahead and shut this a little better there. Okay, let's go on ahead over here and look. Oh, let's see here. Split palisade walls. The original palisade walls of Fort Parker were made of virgin cedar logs split in half and placed about 2.5 feet deep into the ground, side by side, with the flat portion of the log facing inward, as you see in this section. These large palisades, supported by horizontal cross braces near the top and by leaning palisade braces on the interior of the fort, constituted a very stable wall. Due to cost involved in obtaining large cedar logs, such as the Fort Parker settlers probably used, smaller unsplit cedar logs were used in construction of the wall of the fort replica. Okay, so they had to compromise a little. Okay, so this would be the women's bathroom. He said that there was a bathroom here. The door swelled. And there's a fireplace. Yeah, the door swelled and they added brick to the floor. But this is the women's bathroom. Originally it was a little house. At least they provide a bathroom, but it's very cold. Like I said, it's swelled. Hold on here. Ouch. The weather's kind of got it compromised a little. So that's nice. They transformed that into a women's bathroom. And this would be the video room.
For weeks after the hunt, women and girls tanned hides and dried meat, while the old men told stories about Coyote the trickster, who stole the buffalo herds from the guardian of the mountains and gave them to the Comanche. When food was plentiful, winter was a good time. Many villages camped together to trade gossip, dance, sing, and tell stories. One favorite story told how the Great Spirit created the Comanches. Their bodies are the soil of the earth, their blood the morning dew, their breath comes from the wind, and their thoughts are rushing waterfalls. In the spring of 1840, a white trader spotted Nadu and tried to buy her. Although Kayayuka would not give her up, he let the traders talk to her, but she no longer remembered anything of the white man's ways. When Nadu entered puberty, she started wearing a fringed and beaded buckskin shirt and skirt. When her menstrual cycle began, she went into isolation to avoid contaminating the men with her strong female medicine, and when her cycle ended, she washed away her power in a cold, clear creek. As Nadu became a woman,
There's
she
a
learned
butter
to make
churn.
large covers from buffalo hides.
They made
and
butter in
collected
that.
wild plants for food and medicine. She dried meat and mixed it with fruit and nuts to make pemmican.
Comanche, lords
She
of
tanned
the
animal
plains.
skins and made clothing decorated with beaded designs. When she was about 17, Peta Nakona, a warrior from the Northern Bahati band and son of the war chief Ironshirt, flew outside her family's teepee, asking with his song if she could be his wife. One morning,
A
he
little
bought
bit
gifts
of,
horses, and when her parents
glare.
took the horses
Sorry
into
about
their
that.
own herd, the marriage was official. The Comanches were notorious raiders.
Yeah, they
raided
provide
loot
seating
taxes
and
protected
bench
the hunting grounds.
so that you can watch that. At one time there was some kind of a water source in here. Might have been the men's bathroom, and they converted it into something else. You know, that's a very familiar photo. I've seen that photo before
There
somewhere.
were many sad partings between Nadu and her warrior husband. At night she sang that the wind might carry her words to him. I have but one love, and he is far away on the warpath. Lonely are the days and weary. Sometime in 1845, Nadu became pregnant. She gathered wild mosses preparing for her baby. When her time to deliver
That's
came,
pretty neat.
she went
These
to
are out of
the men
gourds.
were not allowed. Men
They're
have
a type
power,
of, they're
but women have power. Can any warrior
another
with a
type of
child,
vegetable,
such was the song of
like
the medicine woman, and
what,
Nadu
pumpkin
became
and
pregnant, and she became named Kwana, which means fragrance. Soon
squashes.
after Kwana was born,
These are
life
gourds.
began to get very difficult. On
So they
December
made them
29,
into masks.
1875,
That's neat.
settlers poured into the new state, and Indian raids increased. In 1846,
Here's a small replica about what a fort would look like.
and formed the Texas Rangers. In 1849, gold was discovered in California, and wagon trains rolled through Texas. They brought cholera and smallpox and left behind tainted graves, which the Indians looted, infecting themselves and their villages. In the summer of 1849, most of
Smoking a
the
peace
Indians
pipe.
died. The Comanche nation began to disintegrate and would never recover. Nakona moved his family to the Staked Plains. Other warriors joined him, and they called themselves the Nakonai, which means wanderers. There in the high country, not
We would stay and watch that, but that would take up more time on the video. Here's a wagon. Now that would have been part of the wagon wheel. This would have been a very large wagon. And they've got it broke down. But yeah. Okay, let's see here. Some of these have got marked. Okay, the cabin chimney. The original cabin chimneys were made of clay, straw, and sticks and had a stone base. After completion of the side wall of the cabin, an opening approximately 5 feet in width and 3 feet in height was cut in the logs. The rectangular area was measured off outside the wall. And to save time on recording, just pause and read if you'd like. Okay, let's go on ahead and look on the inside of this. Okay, that's the men's bathroom. No need. Alright. Here we've got a table and bench. Picnic tables. Of course, that's new. Look here at this neat chair. Almost like a throne. Okay, so I assume Alright, so like the men would get up on this, stand tall enough, and shoot through those. Got it. Okay, so they weren't tables to eat. They were tables for the men to stand on and shoot. Okay, that makes sense. They've got a tent area here. I wonder what they're planning on doing. And they've got another fire pit here. Probably for big pig roasts and stuff. And big hunks of meat. So of course that right there would be a similar blockhouse where they would shoot as well. Here was the entryway where they could literally, they would swing open that gate and they could come in through with the horses. Do not climb the stairs. You can, like they would get in through there. Okay. Okay, you can't see it. It's very faded. Fort Parker, 1883, or 1833 to 1836. So this fort was used approximately 3 years. Fort Parker, built 1834 for protection from Indians, named for leaders who brought first Presbyterian Baptist Church body to Texas, Elder Daniel Parker. His father, Elder John Brothers, Jazz W., Benjamin, Silas, John, also here were Kellogg. Okay, that's the list of the men. Alright, got it. And then okay, so I was wrong. This fort was used as protection against the Indians. So I was wrong. I stand corrected. This would have been, I guess this is where he was buried. 1775, John Parker. 1758 to 1836. He was a revolutionary. I've been so busy gawking at everything here. I don't even know how much of it I've rightfully gotten for you. I'm very sorry if I have filmed it right. I've been busy looking around myself. Pause and read if you need. So they had put homemade wreaths on every one of these. Oh, that startled me. She startled me. Okay, so here you get an idea of what it would look like in here. So we've got our fireplace, prep table, tiny little shelf pantry. Like I said, those windows could open up so that the women could fire away if they needed to. Of course, she had her precious little belongings on the mantle. Little armoire. Possibly would store more food and more plates and stuff, what would be needed. It has a pretty good sized lamp, so that would light up quite a bit, you know. That would light up a lot. In case they had a baby, so there would be the little cradle, and this would be the bed. Now, I can seriously imagine this little cabin being efficient. I really can. I can imagine that. Look here at the pots and pans. Iron, of course. Moonshine jug. So, yeah. I can imagine this being efficient. Look here. A broom. Not much to it, but effective. So yeah, I can imagine it being effective. It would have been cold coming in, on cold winters, and then being bundled up the best they can. Have that worn as hot as possible. And then this. Okay, they've got it. You can't go in anyway. But basically it'd be the same thing as up there. So, yeah, this is Fort Parker. And it was a real fort. They done restoration on the place and everything. But yes, so there you have it, Fort Parker. And I hope that you enjoyed this. Okay, I was going to show you something else. There was another place that I was going to be filming for you, but it was kind of on the cooler side, and there was a whole lot to be seen there at that other place. So I'm going to go back at another time and get the other place. It was completely in a different area, and I'll do that for you sometime on a warmer day when I can do a full tour. But I hope that you enjoyed the fort. And I know I did. That was very fascinating to me. And I could just imagine back in the times when they would live there and have to survive, So, anyway, yeah, I hope that you enjoyed. And I'll see you later. You all have a great day.